We do encourage you to get interactive. For many of you who will be watching our stream, please make sure you go to TV3 Ghana. It's always available for you. Facebook. We also have X. We have for all the relevant social media platforms, streaming on YouTube as well. Make sure you share and then also make your comment available. Just seeing so far a couple of you also on the stream as well. I want to say good morning to all of you. And we have Money. And then also Imelda Nassar, many of you, Evans Ibn Samba, please let's hear from you. And Kopa as always, Akasokri Joseph, boss, how are you? I hope you had a good weekend. Chief Mante, who lives in Akosombo alongside your wife, Sister Vivian, I wish you all the best for the day. And then also Nicholas works with the Ghana Health Service, is based in Wa. I wish you all the best for the day as well. And then my good friend who is in Boko, Dr. Salif Fukomba, alongside your wife, Flora. But as we get started, let me tell you what we're discussing this morning. We're having an assessment made of the NPP primaries, and this was conducted in orphan constituencies, meaning that constituencies where they don't have members of parliament. Also, we're going to look at some of the incident that it happened, concerns being raised or not. And then in the second part, we'll look at Ghana's delegation to the climate change, what they call the COP. It will be 28, of course. That's taking place in the UAE, United Arab Emirates. And this time, our delegates list ballooned from some 300 and something from last year to over 600. But again, let me put it into perspective. It's made up of civil society, private sector players, either in business, etc., and then also those in government. All right. The concern, though, has been that Ghana should not be registering such a large group. More so, is it having impact on the way we undertake our measures on the environment, vegetative cover, etc. in Ghana is concerned? Representing the government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, speaking for the governing NPP, a man in his own right, Kofi Tonto is a regular on the show. He's right here. Good morning to you, Kofi.
Good morning.
Are you in black because you have a funeral?
Oh, it's actually not.
Oh, just a fashion statement. I love it.
It's the economy. It's mourning.
No, it's actually not
They are beginning to
funeral
mourn
or
with us.
anything like
Okay,
that.
it's just a... Right, good morning to you.
A very good morning to you. Yeah.
And then we have the Member of Parliament for Tamale Central, who is also here, Ibrahim Mutala Muhammad. He's a regular on the show as well. And Ibrahim, good morning to you.
Good morning, Roland. And good morning to your
I need
cherished
some
viewers.
education. When you wear your hat like that, what does it mean in whatever way?
I can't pretend to know it all.
Okay.
But when you wear it straight, it means that you have no equal.
Oh,
so
okay.
that is why there are certain communities or chiefs.
Yeah.
If you take Gutegu, if you take Kumbongo, well, once you become a chief for Kumbongo, you don't progress to any other chiefdom again. Gutegu, you don't. So they wear them that way within the entire town or the entire jurisdiction. But when you wear it this way, you don't want to have problems with anybody.
Okay.
When you wear it this way, you are prepared for war.
For war.
Oh, I see.
So, like he's in black, it for
Signifies.
me, it signifies that some of them, he's a fine gentleman, are beginning to mourn with millions of Ghanaians who are struggling in this country because of the maladministration.
I don't
and the
understand.
mess
We
created
just read in
by
Kunim budget.
the-
So please don't be mischievous this morning. The word that they've given to me over the period. And somebody also told me when you wear it this way, that the way you on the left, it means that you're humble.
Yes.
I don't know.
It's right.
I don't know whether
and
you're
when
humble, but
when you do it right, but when you do it left,
it means
you don't
that
want to have
cool
problems with anybody. So I don't want to have problems with
You, Mutala.
anybody,
You, Mutala,
particularly
you naturally-
my good friend.
Naturally, the way you even speak brings trouble.
Oh, I learned it from Nanado.
Ni Atukwekwe, mourning over the economy, he says. Sherry Giovanni says, please tell Kofi Tonto I like his black kaftan.
But this thing,
And then he says
I
he
don't
loves
know
your
if it's
fashion sense
I don't
as
know if
well.
It's entirely black.
Oh, it's black.
And then we have
It
cash
has a
out
tone
as
of
well. So
brown.
Evans Blay, Kojo Kome, Papa Kojo, Shaddai Ado, to all of you, please make sure that you play cash out this morning. It goes with a short code *439#. Kweku Aaron joining us from Kofodia. Good morning. So *439# is available for you. Let us know how you're enjoying Cash Out this morning as you get to play. So it's very easy for you to win. I've had many testimonies, and we've called also winners on phone as well. So you get to know that we're in good position. And earlier on, we're talking about the children going to school this morning. It means all of us are prepared, but there are concerns also being raised. But we'll see how we are able to do that. Mavis Suka is watching us live from the UAE, Abu Dhabi. Very beautiful city, or if not one of the Emirates, as it is. Very rich country, though. And Mr. Fugu, Hassan says I should tell you good morning. And then Hali to Sophia and Okocha. You said good morning as well. Ransford, thank you for joining us, and many of you. Now, can we get some of the videos of the incidents that took place? We know that there were some winners. Inusa Fuseni was not able to get on the list, though, because there was... the
presidency fought.
Is it Amadou Kua who was able to move away from the Kapim North? And Okankwe North was able to win it. Very surprising. But we had the numbers. So if we have a list of the winners, we'll also display them for you. Fuseni Issa. Fuseni Issa, please, I apologize for mispronouncing your name. So we'll see how that goes. But let's get some of the videos of the incidents that took place, and then we'll get to announce some of the winners as well. And then we'll begin the discussions. Are we ready?
That's a lot of money. Oh.
You need more.
Yeah, I need more money. Show me more money.
What can share out to you?
And you got all this just today?
Yesterday. Just a few hours. Because I sacrificed money. Yeah.
A bag full of cash.
First in history, I'm your passenger.
Wow. The money is so fat, it wouldn't even go inside.
And I said, these are just the side incidents. Of course, it's dominated the discussions, but also we have some key individuals. Pius Enam Hajide, who also comes on the show, was able to get elected as well. So we have some key winners. Pandai. We have the return of Matthew Nyindam, Joseph Penka, former Deputy Attorney General Tempani, and then, of course, Ewutu Senya just here. That will be ASW. Is going to face it off with Gisela, Pius Hajide also for Isujamai, and of course, a regular on the show, Kozi. So Akosia Meinu is representing the NPP, going to face Ramadan in Adentan constituency. Danama Dokua Isiam AJ from Ikwapim North to Kankwe North. Defeated individuals, of course, we said Fuseni Issa. Okay. Issa Fuseni. And then also Ifya Kutu, as she is popularly known. She's called Alberta, though. I didn't know that until the Saturday. And then, of course, Dr. Bernard Okoboy, Lejokuku, 1/900.
Yeah,
and then
was huge.
Yeah, very huge gap. And then Jefferson Saki also, Ablekuma Central, Deputy Director of Communications at Jubilee House, or the presidency. Ninoy Note, if you remember, was one time one of those who had disciplinary measures against him, but he's been a formidable force for the NPP in Klote Kole. He returns on the ballot paper. And then Manaf Ibrahim Aswase, that was quite a surprising one, or it's not.
Really?
I think the surprising one was the one I saw at Odududiodo constituency. Yes, Manaf Ejay, I confused that with Manaf Ejay Soa, representing the NPP in 2024 in Ododiodio. Ayenswano had Ida Ajua Esiedu, because Ayenswano mean that there was a defeat for the deputy tourism minister. That will be Magukreku Mante, Sharifa Tijani, and then that will be for Nkwanta South. Robert Lamte, Alexander Babio for Time. And then Pandai, Richard Nyama, lost.
Oh, he lost.
Elizabeth Afole was not able to get on the sheets, so it also means that she can return to Parliament at some point per her ambitions. Crower, Jaiman North, we have for Zabila, Frank Adonko Fuseni, Barbara Asheyisi, Cape Coast North was defeated. We have Ifya Kutoko, we told you that a regular on the show, Fuseni Isap, Nilante Banama, no Jojo got the haircut as it is. And then Ebidizanati as well, a former member of parliament for the area who also lost. So we'll see how that goes. So that'll be it, okay? What do you make of this as well? But your initial comments on how it all went.
Well, a very good morning to you and to your cherished viewers, and then also to my senior brother, Mutala, quite vociferous and sometimes extremely abrasive. But he's a nice gentleman. And then a very good morning to you as well. But yeah, first and foremost, I would like to congratulate the party and the party leadership. I think there is a new trend in the NPP. We've done excellently well, exceedingly well in the past, but the new leadership is doing something great, and I think is worthy of commendation. The last few elections that we've held have all turned out very smooth, very free and fair. Looking at the presidential primaries and then also this Orphan constituency elections as well. We have another elections coming up for the MPs who are in Parliament. They will be conducting their elections next month in January.
January?
Yes.
Do you know the particular date?
I have to check. I can check for you. But essentially, we've seen some great deal of free and fairness in our elections. You don't see candidates coming out to complain about the album or other forms of complaint. Essentially seamless and no issues. So we commend the leadership of the party for doing that. And then also to congratulate those who've won. It's not an easy task to put yourself forward for people to take a decision on you. Aside from the resources that goes into it, the footwork, it takes a lot of work. I mean, Mutala here will tell you. I mean, to become an MP in this country is quite a Herculean task. And so we commend them for going through successfully. And then also those who didn't win, we have to equally commend them for putting themselves up in the first place. It's not easy, but then they put themselves up to be contested and to contest and for the people to take a decision on them. Some of us, we are not that bold to even put ourselves up. I'm from the Ashanti region, and people have asked, "Oh, Kofi, why haven't you contested?" I'm like, "Look,
You've been asked to contest?
People say it.
Which constituency would that be?
I'm from Bekwai.
Bekwai? Only one?
No, Bekwai and then Menchia North.
Okay. Menchia North.
Menchia North.
Okay, that'll be Akwesi's constituency.
Yeah.
All right.
And Akwesi is actually it's like a brother to me. And so
you don't contest your relatives. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that I'm just saying that he's like a brother to me. But the point that I want to make is that it takes a great deal of courage for people to show up to contest. Because some of us, when people tell us, we say, no, we are not interested in parliamentary stuff. So let me commend everyone, those who won and those who didn't win, and for the leadership that put the whole exercise together. I think it was a wonderful exercise with no issues. And I look forward to having another beautiful exercise in January as well. So that would be my preliminary comments on this whole elections. Yeah.
Well, first and foremost, if you would allow me to comment briefly on the reopening of schools.
So you mean the free SHS, the senior high school first year reopening today?
Yes, I think it is ridiculous, frankly speaking, for what the Ghana Education Service and the Ministry of Education and this government is trying to do.
Why?
You resume school for students to report, and 15 days time, they break again. It simply doesn't make sense. I listened to some of the people who call into your program. A parent from Yagaba, that is the Minister for Youth and Sports constituency. I farm there, have my farms, my rice farms there, who says that, look, the timing is too short. He has not even picked the admission letter for the ward. The ward is sent to Jema SHS, which is in Brunhafo. He lives in Northeast. And he is not the only person. I have had several parents who have called me. Some have sent text messages appealing for assistance because of the shortness of the time. And it is not their making that the time is too short for them to prepare. What benefit is it to the students and to the teachers and to GES and the Ministry of Education that they can't just wait, resumed, and then they can have time? Because it is expensive to prepare your kids to go to school. I have a niece who is in SHS, and alhamdulillah, my son is also going to SHS this year. And it is very difficult. I won't say the school.
Why not?
Why must I mention the school my son attends? And it is extremely difficult. So I think that if
it means you're enjoying free SHS. That's nice. Please go ahead.
As a matter of fact, my son is not going to, is actually going to a private school.
Why?
It's a choice.
I don't understand. You're a leading politician.
It doesn't matter. In fact, my son attended public schools, but I decided that he should go to a private school. He wrote an entrance exams and passed and got admission, and I feel that he must go there.
I'm glad you are doing well to put your son through a private school.
I think that even without free SHS, people have their kids who are attending private schools. The president's grandchildren are not attending even public school. The free
but it's an indictment. It's an indictment on us as a people that you are sending your. Anyway, please go ahead.
I said that the president's grandchildren, the minister's children.
Focus on your son. You don't know anything about the president.
Please, can we get the discussion going?
Just focus on your son, please.
So
I just talked about the fact that my son is also going to school. Yeah. He wanted to know the school my son attends, and I said no.
Okay, so
now he's telling.
Now let's start the conversation.
No, because I'm now moving
back onto your concern about.
No, but Roland, you said that why is it that my son is attending a private school? And I just want to point out to you, even those who have instituted the so-called free school, their grandchildren and children are not attending the public schools. That one, you can't take it. If warm water can be taken as a meal, why are you not prepared to take it? So I'm saying that it's extremely difficult. I've just told you that there are many people who have called me, and I told you before the program, I can show you text messages of parents who are requesting that we assist because of the timing. So I would plead with the Ghana Education Service, just adding my appeal to the appeals numerously been made by parents, that they shouldn't be in a rush. I think my good friend, Honorable Okujeto, the ranking member on education and parliament, even made a statement on the floor on this matter. And we had a lot of people contributing, regardless the political differences, drumming home the same point, that it is too short for, parents to prepare to have their wards in school. Look, what we witnessed the past week is one of the dangers in our democratic dispensation. You had people flaunting monies they took just to elect parliamentary candidates.
Can you be showing the videos of the monetization,
please? It's noted for this. You remember there was a leaked audio where a member of parliament allegedly stated how much he was prepared to pay every single delegate so he could be elected as the parliamentary candidate, an NPP member of parliament who allegedly made those comments. Now, I don't think that my friend here would have the moral leg to defend the vulgar, the nasty videos that is spreading across the country. In almost all the constituencies, they had the parliamentary primaries. Look, I won't put the name of the person here. I had an engagement with a colleague member of parliament from NPP, and I mentioned the name to him.
You did?
I mentioned the name to him off camera. He knows. I said, I mentioned the name,
so
please.
If you mention the name to me,
No, I'm just, I'm making it.
What use is it to the?
No, I'm just saying that I want it to be unfair for me to mention the name, but I just want it to be stated that I mentioned the name to him.
Okay.
I had interactions with the person, and he was trying to tell me that, oh, me, I didn't spend. We were talking about the expenditure or the expenses members of parliament, you know, or people who are contesting and care in elections. And he was trying to tell me, I mean, I didn't spend much because I gave every delegate 3,000 Ghana cedis. So I asked, how many delegates? Several hundreds of delegates. And that his opponents gave about 6,000. And I asked myself.
His opponent who lost?
Who lost? And he was trying to tell me that, me, I didn't give much because I gave 3,000 cedis per delegate. I think it's dangerous. I contested elections in 2020 to be elected as the NDC parliamentary candidate. Roland, you know me, I don't have money. My good friends, they have a lot of money. And Roland, to be very honest, those in Tamale Central knew, and the delegates knew, I never gave money for people to vote for me. I indeed provided food for the delegates. I did that, frankly speaking. Some of them, I gave rice, I gave, oil, and I gave some...
So you two are part of the monetization?
No. You see, we are in an opposition. We are in opposition, per se. The party naturally wouldn't have the money to provide money for delegates to come. What they did was that all the expenses for the purposes of the elections were paid by the party, so that the venue and other places. Now, delegates, as a member of the constituency in that area, and I'm just being brutally frank with you, we needed to provide them because remember, we came there from morning 8 o'clock and we left there in the evening. It simply doesn't make sense. We provided some food, myself and my opponents all provided some food.
Is it hot meal or?
Hot meal.
Okay.
We all provided some food. In fact, you had to buy the rice, you provide some food for
so
the
delegates. So you provided hot meal?
We all did.
Because you are in opposition?
Yes, I did. Even in Gam, I did. My opponents also did. We didn't have the evidence of doling out money to people. And maybe perhaps I was also lucky that Tamale Central is one of the elitist constituencies in Ghana. So the people knew the kinds of persons they wanted to represent them. So I thank the people of Tamale Central, and I'll forever remain grateful. If it was money, there was no way I was going to be elected as the parliamentary candidate because I simply didn't have the money. Now, these primaries we had, by Allah's will, I contested unopposed. Nobody contested.
I don't understand. You contested unopposed, but you still shared.
No, I mean, that one was in 2020.
Okay.
But this, we've just had our parliamentary primaries. I contested unopposed. I think Tamale North unopposed, Tamale South unopposed. Unfortunately, the whole constituency we had, where there was a contest was my big brother constituency in Sanago. But I can speak for myself as a person who contested unopposed. Frankly speaking, if I was to be contested, it would have been extremely difficult for me to contest it, winning the elections with money, I must admit. Now, what we all need to do collectively as a people is to see how we fight this. And it seemed to me that we have a difficulty appreciating the responsibilities of members of parliament. Members of parliament are nothing but representatives of their constituents. They serve as liaison, if you like, officers between the executive arm and the people they represent. Unfortunately, it's been hugely monetized, and what we saw the weekend was disgusting. And I was expecting my friend to have condemned the monetization before he proceeded to make any comment he wanted to make.
No, it was just preliminary.
Oh, so will he condemn it?
But
you make your comments.
You go ahead and
so I'm saying that it is just vulgar. It is unacceptable. Now, anybody can come and win elections if he or she has money. And we have seen that in the NPP, where drug convicts subsequently came and won elections.
You're talking about Erica Martin?
Of course, who was convicted for dealing in drugs, came, contested an elections, and won the elections. Tomorrow, you don't know who will come and contest elections and win because the person has money. So I think that we all need to sensitize the public. We all need to be taking a position that resonates with the letter and spirit of parliamentary representation. And one of the means by which we can do so is when political parties own up to condemn such acts by their own members. And when you have a platform like this, and you have a member of the NPP communication team who is so cowardized, is unwilling to condemn something that he knows is wrong, he knows is unethical, he knows is immoral. No, I expect him to do so. He's unwilling to condemn it.
Why are you attacking me?
No, I'm not.
No, but you've called me a coward.
Oh, please.
He
hasn't made his main comment.
You've
No.
insinuated that I'm a coward.
No, please, the two of you. He hasn't made his formative opening statement yet. So you just make your statement.
I'm just preempting him. That if he wants to show
Mutala, we've done this game for too long. You and I, we've done it for too long. That he's not a coward. I expect him to condemn this.
You're putting him on the back foot. That's your strategy this morning.
No, I just want him. I know him. He's a fine gentleman, even though he used certain words. Me, I won't. The difference between myself and him is...
So you're condemning the monetization.
And it is also important that we look at some specific constituencies. And Roland, I have to congratulate my good friend, the NPP parliamentary candidate for Tamale Central. The mayor of Tamale, Sule Salfu, is a very good friend of mine. We have been together as friends for a very long time. We all met in communicating for our parties, I think since 2003, where he was representing the NPP and I was representing the NDC on radios in Tamale. We have known each other for a very long time. He's a very good friend of mine, even though, inshallah, I will wallop him. So I congratulate him for emerging as the NPP parliamentary candidate. I also want to congratulate my good friend, Okoboy, that, yes, I congratulate him for winning, but our MP will defeat him again in the 2024 elections.
Mr. Oku.
Oh, yes, he will defeat him. There's no question at all about that. I want to talk about Issa Hussein. I mean, the gentleman has been treated unfairly by the presidency. Now,
I don't understand.
Yes, I'll tell you why.
There was a contest.
You remember,
there were a number of contestants.
On this program, I told you that the presidency has actually asked the lady to come and contest him. And he was defending. I said, look, that lady is going to use money. The lady is going to win. Why do you have a sitting MP, who is also now the parliamentary candidate of a constituency? Does it even make sense?
What's wrong with that?
Because Sami Oku was going to contest her. And then she was so cowardized, she felt that she could not contest Sami Oku. The presidency asked her to come and contest in that constituency. A constituency which the NPP only lost in the last election since 1992. One thing I know, that inshallah...
Is it the constituency where Theresa won?
Yes, Theresa, inshallah, will win that seat again. Because I have a lot of friends in that constituency. Some of them are NPP, and they are telling me the rage, the anger. They felt that their preferred candidates couldn't win because they could not compete in terms of the monies that were spent in that constituency. And you have a lot of such across the country. But you see, he said that it is very peaceful. It was free and fair. Perhaps my friend has a different understanding of what constitutes fair. When monies are used at the disadvantage of others, it ceases to be fair. Where monies are brazenly used, captured on TV, where people are prepared and they are owning up that I have gotten this amount of money from this candidate across the constituencies, that election ceases to be a fair election. But you see, the reason why this one did not spark with a lot of violence, it is very clear. You don't find or you don't have a lot of tension in parliamentary primaries of orphan constituencies.
So you're saying the big deal is going to be...
Of course, the stakes are not that high. A lot of the constituencies, the NPP themselves know. Even the candidates who are contesting know that, inshallah, they will lose. Asawasi. Manaf knows that Honorable Mutaka will beat him. Inshallah, Tamale Center, my good friend Sule knows that, but Allah will...
Mutala, you can't come to that conclusion.
I'm saying that, that's why I said, inshallah, by the will of Allah. They know we'll beat them. A lot of the they know that inshallah candidate will beat. So the reason why the stakes are not high, the stakes are not high because the party knows their position in those constituencies. But in constituencies where you have sitting MPs, where they know that the results they had in the previous elections, they may win in those constituencies, which is often not even the case. But of course, there is that thinking. The stakes are going to be very high. And that is where we will see this outrageous monocracy in a legendary fashion. Because if you have sitting MPs who are pledging that they want to get about 2 million Ghana cedis or more, which they will spend in parliamentary primaries, and in orphan constituencies, millions of Ghana cedis have been spent. That, for me, speaks volumes. It is alleged that some delegates were given 2,000 Ghana cedis. In constituencies, some delegates were given 2,000 Ghana cedis. I mean, the videos, 2,000. In constituencies where you have delegates amounting to thousands, let's even say 1,000. 2,000 Ghana cedis by 2,000 cedis, how much is that? Is it not 2 million? That's 2 million, right?
But
yes.
Which constituency are you talking about?
Oh, but the videos, a lot of the constituencies, they were given 2,000. Even that constituency I talked about in Hussein Issa's constituency, delegates said they were given 2,000 Ghana cedis. So multiply 2,000 even by 1,000 delegates. That is 2 million. Right. What kind of work are you coming to do? What kind of things are you coming to do that can you get this money? How is the money provided? Who gave you the money? So I think that the office of the special prosecutor should be interested in this, because that office was set up to investigate, especially political corruption.
All right.
It is not only those who are holding political offices, even those who are contesting, and they are politicians. Some of them are spokespersons, some of them are communication directors, some of them are chief executives, some of them are former MPs. I think that the office of the special prosecutor should be interested in finding out how they got the money, how did they come by the money, who gave the money, how much taxes were paid on that money, because this is outrageous.
Kofi, did you see some of the monies
I've
and
seen,
the videos?
I've seen
I think the good thing is that the media was able to capture it, including,
Some.
of course.
Capture some.
Yeah.
I've seen the videos and I was quite alarmed. I don't think our democracy should go that way.
Because this is complete monetization.
I don't think...
To the highest level.
Yeah, I don't think our democracy should go that way. Any form of monetization should not be encouraged. We elect people to represent us, as Mutala said. Why are you looking at me like that? Please, let me talk. You let me talk. We elect, people from the presidency to parliamentarians to represent us, to represent our interests, to espouse our views, and to push for things that matter to us. So if we are going to build them before they go and represent us, essentially, we've said to them that you can go there and do whatever you like because you've paid for it. I don't think that is the right way to go. And so I completely disagree with the approach and the persons who involved themselves in that. And I call on the party leadership to take charge and investigate.
But the way you're saying it, I think that it's just a casual cursory incident.
No.
Because there is a growing concern among civil society.
No.
Those who are in academia.
No, I'm saying
that there's a deliberate effort to crowd out individuals who have genuine abilities to be able to operate within the governance space.
But I've said the same thing.
And the government has strategically decided to crowd those people out.
No, I don't know. See, when you do that, then you politicize the issue. The government has not and will not deliberately crowd out people, as you are saying. No. I am saying that we are heading on a tangent which is not well for our democracy. Certainly condemning the act. And I'm saying that it's not something that we should encourage. And I'm calling for the party leadership to investigate. But when you say the government is deliberately, that is to suggest that it is a one-sided activity in our body politic. That's not true. I mean, it's become so bad to the extent that even journalists are paying to be elected. The last elections for the GJA, we saw journalists paying to be elected.
I wasn't giving money. So.
No, I don't know if you were giving money, but I mean, there are people who were giving money. We all saw the evidence, just like we've seen here.
Who were giving money?
I'm saying that, didn't you? I mean, are you going to...
You mean the GJ election?
Are you going to pretend that you didn't hear that GJ election?
I didn't hear.
Some people came out and said that contestants paid money. So it is condemnable for people to do it in our party, in the NDC, and
please,
elsewhere.
Cry your own cry. Don't bring it
No.
into your matter.
Mutala,
I beg you. Cry your own cry.
Because my next question is going to feature on both sides
our
of the
politics
political
should eschew any form of inducement, either being it a cylinder, being it butter, being it 40 cedis for
or
transport, or what?
Pants.
Or pants, the
Head
carry,
pants.
head pants, or whatever. Or sharing money in the car. You know, Juliana Wassan, one of the candidates.
The lady who threw the money, Gomwa.
Exactly.
You're lost.
Well, I'm sure some people who also paid lost in the NPP, and some won. But the bottom line is that our politics, our society, the monetization in our society is something that we need to eschew in every facet of our society, not just politics. Look, Mutala, in this country now, as long as you have money, people don't even ask you where you got the money from.
Well, Desiree Marvin says you are equalizing. You are doing.
I'm not equalizing. I've condemned the act. And I'm going to the extent to say that it has become an embodiment of who we are as a people. From politics to other aspects of our society. And we should condemn it. You know, this is not something that we should do, because for a young gentleman like me, I don't have millions of CDs.
Is that why you haven't decided to contest it back?
It's actually part of the reason why I don't contest.
So you knew that money would be...
Not for... Let me clarify myself.
Please clarify, because what you are saying...
Not for the doling aspect. But if you become an MP in this country, I will tell you, it's very expensive. Very expensive. You have to help do all manner of things. And you have to find the money to do it. I don't have the money to do that. So I have to sit out. Monetization of our politics cuts across the political divide, and it is something that we must condemn. And that is why I am saying that what I have seen, I was extremely appalled. You know, I don't think we should get to that level and get to the level of inducement where people are right at the polling station putting monies in their pocket. What did you go there to do? Did you go there for an investment? Or did you go there to elect the right candidate who's going to help move this nation forward? So certainly, I don't think it's the right thing. I call for the party to investigate, and any other authorized entity in the state to investigate. But these things, they start small. They start from the 40 cedis. They start from the cylinders. And then it gets to this level. And I think it's something that we must all condemn. Both in the NPP, in the NDC, in CPP, anywhere else. And even in the media, when you do your elections, let's condemn it.
I didn't see it. This media matter.
Okay, I will find you a story.
So, Eric Esiedu says,
yeah.
Ghana...
Mutala has reminded me that Solé
in the media.
Yeah, Solé in the media, you don't take Solé. That's what I was saying, that we've monetized every aspect of our society.
I see.
Every aspect of our society.
Okay, so I have Eric Esiedu who says that if you take a look at the country, Ghana is broke, but political party in power has money. Now,
some people go and borrow the money.
Let him finish reading there.
Some people go and borrow the money.
If you don't have security, how do you
Papa Asamoah says, I think it is high time political parties agreed with aspirants to collectively provide lunch and TNT for delegates, if need be, than doing so individually. This will help ward away the monetization. Now, that said, how do we make sure that as political parties, because I know for a fact, even in the NDC, you also, if you're in opposition, and the NPP, if one day they get into opposition, they will say that we are in opposition. So you will not see, in terms of the intensity. How do we make sure that we sanitize the system?
Roland, NDC has been in power before. And NDC has actually organized parliamentary primaries whilst in government. We have never witnessed what we have witnessed just last week. This is just outrageous.
I don't understand.
We have never witnessed parliamentary aspirants brazenly, with alacrity, paying delegates to vote them as we have witnessed. Look, I agree with him the aspects of it, even though he didn't have the courage to outrightly condemn what they did. Of course, you had to be prompted to faintly condemn what is hugely condemnable. Look, I hear a lot of experts who, in doing the analysis, put a figure that parliamentary candidates need to win parliamentary primaries.
I think there was a research by
in millions.
Is it through the Afrobarometer?
Roland, before Gordon, before Gordon, man, the primaries are contested in 2021, and Allah is my witness. I didn't spend up to 300,000 Ghana cedis, and that is why I will always remain grateful for the people of Tamale Central, the delegates of Tamale Central. Let me finish. Please, let me finish.
We've asked you to discuss an issue.
Let me finish.
Smartly campaigned to the people of Tamale Central for so long.
Stop this.
We see what you are doing. Stop the campaign.
Stop disrespecting the people of Tamale.
No, it's not about disrespect.
Okay,
you are campaigning.
I say stop
You
disrespecting the people.
said one day you go for backfire.
Stop disrespecting.
No, I didn't
we've
say
advertised
that. Please, I didn't say that.
Stop disrespecting the people of Tamale Central. I have had several opportunities. I have never made this statement. I'm making this statement because the topic we are looking at has something to do with that. And it is always good to show gratitude. If it was money, there was no way I was going to be elected. And that is why I feel obliged that every single thing I do, I must do it to advance the interests of the people of Tamale Central. But you see, the monetization is not only within the politics, and the value, the respect people attach to money goes beyond even politics and journalism, as you are stating here, even within our families. Roland, if you live in a family and someone has money in that family, it doesn't matter the age, that person is accorded more respect than even those who are older than the person in that family. Everybody in the family tends to respect the person. In our religious groupings, go to the prayers, the churches, the mosques. People don't care where you are getting the money, as long as you are the one who contributes tremendously or hugely to advance the interests of that religious grouping. And for me, that is dangerous. Look, as a Muslim, Roland, Allah says very clearly, in fact, and the Holy Prophet in Hadiths also emphasize on that you shall be called to account for every single dime on the day of judgment, every single dime. So if you are a chief, if you are a president, if you are a minister, if you are a member of parliament, a chief executive, a radio host, a manager of a corporate entity, every money that is given to you to handle for and on behalf of the people, be reminded that you shall account to your Creator on the day of judgment. Unfortunately, in our religious groupings, they are not talking about accountability. They are just talking about the monies that you do what you have. And that, for me, is extremely worrying. You see, why this issue must be looked at, and why the NPP doesn't have the courage as a political party to condemn what is happening. There's a popular saying in the Ban, if the chief if the chief comes home with weird haircut, what do you expect the subjects to do?
What do you mean by that?
They pay you. That's what you come home with. In your regional elections, where you elected regional officers, the chief executive of Buffer Stock is captured on video in America when he met NPP functionaries and said that some people even gave delegates 30,000 Ghana cedis. The video is available. I can share it with you after this program. That 30,000 Ghana cedis was given to delegates. I believe you have seen that video.
I haven't seen it.
Well, you haven't seen anything. 30,000 Ghana cedis. So if delegates could give, if people could give delegates for the purposes of regional elections, 30,000 Ghana cedis, multiply the 30,000 by the number of people who contested the elections. Your recent presidential elections, didn't they accuse Dr. Bawumia of monetizing the system in terms of the monies that his team spread or gave out to delegates?
I don't understand. Who
I said the
accused
recent
who
president.
of?
But you are talking. Don't pretend that you didn't hear this. Don't pretend that
No, I know.
your station didn't even carry.
What was
this
the
story.
topic of conversation?
It was monetization.
The special delegates was
Yes.
Kenny Japon's team raised the issue.
And the
but the
money
second
they-
one too, they said there was a system candidate.
Apart from the system candidate,
there was money.
Money was allegedly used in the special delegates. The second one, monies were also allegedly used, and the monies which was used, I mean, all the candidates, particularly the vice president and your presidential, aspirant, they use money. So now, if you use money How do you then correct your following who also use money? A child looks at the mother, the way the mother suck milk or eat, the child observes and the child will learn to do that. A bird cannot be flying and its offsprings will be walking. They also learn how to fly.
Who is the bird here?
The NPP as a party, the presidency, President Nanado, Dr. Baumia, and the NPP as a party. When you use money in your elections, what do you expect your parliamentary candidates to do? And that is the reason why you will not have that moral leg to deal with those who have used money. And I'm betting my last penny on this. Nothing will happen to this. Your call is just in thin air.
Do you know the special prosecutor has captioned or made captions and also done a screenshot of the individuals who have been, of course,
that is why I am calling. That is why I am calling on the special prosecutor to go ahead and investigate. Of course, once again, they have frustrated the man. If you listen to the press conference he held, he appeared very frustrated because this government is doing everything possible to deal with him and frustrate him, just as they did to Mr. Martin Amidu. So I'm saying that in as much as we all need to look at it, corruption permeates through the fabrics of our Ghanaian society. Why it is worrying when politicians engage in that is that we are given the exclusive authority to determine how we deal with people who are engaged in corruption, particularly those in government. So if we ourselves, and it's worrying, that is not to say that we should not talk about corruption in other aspects of our society. Look, I have said on this program that corruption is endemic, but politicians are not the only people who are corrupt. And I agree with you. The only thing is that there are some politicians who are fantastically corrupt, and you can find a lot of them. When you get out of this station, you see a huge building there. It has become the citadel for corruption.
Which building?
Flagstaff House.
The
when you have
House.
a sitting member of parliament who's alleged that, look, for you to see the president, you need to pay money, $20,000. Only recently, you have one philanthropist who also came out and said that he was asked to pay money, and mention the name. He was asked to pay money.
You mean the white man?
Yes. He was asked to pay money to be able to execute a project for the good of the people. So when Ken made that allegation, what happened? Nothing. So I'm saying that if the chief comes home with weird haircut, the subject will come with a page, or they will go and even, what's the name of your hairstyle? This one, how do you call it?
You are the haircut.
I just want to know.
I don't know.
Me, I have support.
Roland,
Okay.
They will come home with
I
this
think I
kind of
deserve some time
of course.
to respond to what?
There is a concern that's been raised up that in order to show the seriousness of the ruling party, by this time, a formal statement should have been coming from the structures of the National Executive. One, condemning the act. Two, ensuring that there are disciplinary measures on the individual candidates who gave the monies to those delegates. And three, the special prosecutor cannot be seen to be summoning those who collected the money without summoning or issuing summons to the candidates who gave large sums of money to these delegates. What do you say to that?
Well, Roland, I would like to touch on a few things he said before I come to your question. You see, it is always easier to sit on a platform and pontificate and try to cite examples of corruption while whitewashing yourself as a saint, which is demonstrably done by Murtala this morning. He's whitewashed himself, how he doesn't pay any money, how he doesn't do this, everybody else is doing it, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you've whitewashed yourself this morning.
Please.
Saint Murtala, you are the one that does clean politics in Ghana, etc. But you come from a political party with a history. And so when you cite videos, etc., we can equally cite videos of ill-intended comments by people in your party. But to what point? As someone said, it becomes equalization. But sometimes we have to remind people of the people who are speaking.
That equalization is good.
No, not that equalization is good. That people, wolves, who have decided to wear sheep clothes and pretend to be angels, like Murtala sitting here doing. You come from a political party with a history. You are citing a video from the US of someone. I can remind you of a video of George Opariado in the US telling NDC delegates and NDC members in the US that when we come, we are also going to share the goodies. There's a video.
Legitimately.
They are going to share goodies.
So does it mean that the NPP sharing goodies?
No, the NPP, how does that mean that? I'm reminding you that he is sitting here whitewashing himself. I have sat here and said, there are ills in our politics and we must all condemn it. And I have sat here and condemned the ills in my party, saying that when I saw that, I was appalled. But then you have a gentleman sitting here, whitewashing himself, creating the impression that he comes from a political party that has no ills in their party.
Provide the evidence if you think.
I've given you an evidence. I've given you several evidence. I've given you one of sharing money. I've given you cylinder. He even cited your candidate spraying money in the car.
And lost.
And so what?
She's
was the money sprayed or not? Was the party elections monetized or not?
She's not
Please, let me speak.
She's not.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The monies you saw in the video, you don't know who gave it to them. Whether it was the person who lost or the person who won.
She said she picked it from the car.
Why don't you let me speak?
Please let him.
Proceed.
The buta you shared in Kumasi, your party shared in Kumasi, when you did the elections in Kumasi. The 40 CDs you gave to every delegate, all of that can be classified under inducement. Because we're in our democracy. Does it say that give somebody 40 CDs for transport before they can go and vote? It is all part of inducement. So if anybody ought to be investigated, then perhaps we have to investigate President Mahama and find out where he got the 40 CDs for the 300,000 delegates. So I'm saying that there are ills in our politics. Not just our politics, in our society. We are monetizing every aspect of it. Those who are even supposed to check us, the media. Look at Roland sitting there, dressed nicely. He's part of a fraternity that is equally monetizing their activities.
Oh, really?
Which activity?
Oh, we've cited Solé, we've cited the elections where people paid money. Are you saying we don't know what happens in the media space?
I haven't heard.
Well, we know. Roland, we know.
So
we need to build a responsible society where those who qualify, those who have done the work, are given the opportunity to serve. Not a society where people with money, just because they have money and nothing else, are given the opportunity to serve.
That is dangerous.
And for me, that is dangerous, and we must eschew
How should the
it.
condemnation be done?
Oh, I mean, I have done it.
But this time, shouldn't we have...
No, I think the party, our party, should take a step. I don't have any issues with the statement you read. That the party, that the party can perhaps issue a statement, one, to condemn it, two, the party must investigate it and penalize all those who are found culpable. No issues there. I think we should go a step further. Because if we are going to give hope to the youth, if we are going to give hope to young people like myself and those who are listening, that you can also participate in our democracy, then we must not monetize our democracy. Otherwise, where are we going as a society? So we must condemn it in the NPP, in the NDC, in every facet of our society. But when you have Murtala shifting his hat to this side to create the impression that he's a humble person.
When are you contesting the Bekwai seat?
I'm not contesting Bekwai.
I'm not contesting.
No, please. We are done with this. We are done with this topic.
No, Murtala without you. So just hold on.
To do what?
Guy G from Cantonment. Murtala, please. Guy G from Cantonment, Accra. Monetization has become a common feature of Ghana's democracy. Today, there are no small or big elections anywhere in Ghana, as elections of small associations and groups require some level of spending if one desires for leadership position. Even in normal associations, whether in churches, and again, Gaiji mentions journalists, and then even ordinary associations of individuals in communities. The primaries for the two leading political parties in Ghana, the National Democratic Congress and the New Patriotic Party, have become a cliche that Ghanaians are learning to live with. Guy G, Cantonment Accra. He says good morning to you. He knows you very well. You know him?
Guy G is actually a brother.
Okay.
I actually
so stay in his house. Brother Guy G. Brother Guy G. Now, the issue of GES excessive and unlimited control over the lives and freedoms of our young innocent children must be limited and prohibited. And this is in reaction to the reopening of senior high school students today. It's from Sampi Yale. Now, also, let me just get a couple more. And Al-Hassan Mesuna Tema says, look, it's in the DNA of the NPP. They splash money anyhow when they want. We shouldn't compare the NDC with the NPP. When the economy is hard for everyone, the NPP is careless. Some aspirants even get saloon and then pickups. Is it true? You have to. Okay. And then this one is coming from Faustina Emisa. My neighbor, who is a delegate in the Ablekuma Central, brought 4,000 Ghana cedis plus 32 inches TV home. Then adds the exclamation, hey! Now,
it's wrong.
No, as you make that, we have a delegation of some 618 to COP. That's the climate change conference in the UA. Well, just react to that as well, because that's a movement almost half.
Roland, my brother decided to say that I sit here wanting to clean myself, and no. And maybe perhaps you should find out those who know me too well. My position on corruption has been relentless. Ask the deputy minister for, in fact, in Legon, and let me state this, and you can ask lawyer Pebu, and ask Honorable lawyer Pebu. Yes, like Pebu, and ask Honorable Agalga.
They were at your primary.
In my second year, I was impeaching my JCR president because of corruption in Legon. We were in court for 1 year. Pebu was the lawyer for the JCR president, and Agalga was my lawyer. The SRC, as a General Assembly member, asked the Deputy Minister for Finance, John Kuma, when they wanted to investigate corruption within the SRC, unanimously, it was my good friend John Kuma at the General Assembly. They unanimously appointed me to lead that.
But haven't
please. No, let me finish. I'm coming. But it's important I make this.
Yeah.
I have been in public service, not today. Go and read Manasseh's book on corruption at NYP. He singled me out for praises. He's never my friend. But let me be very clear with you. And I'll say this on this program. Me, Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed, I am not corrupt. I have never been, and I will never be. But I'm a politician.
I haven't called you corrupt.
No.
Can
I finish? I am saying this because, and many of my colleagues in NDC can make same statements. I remember when we lost elections, you people went to town, held a press conference, and said that Dr. Opuni had squandered $400 million of Cocoa Board money. You also said that another colleague of mine, a young person, that he got a lot of money from Electoral Commission, dealings with the Electoral Commission. You are prosecuting Dr. Opuni. $400 million has no space in the prosecution. If you will not prosecute him for embezzling $400 million.
You are introducing
no, I'm not. I'm saying this because within the NDC, please, and that colleague of mine, you said, you have no scintilla of evidence. Within the NDC.
Which colleague was yours?
Oh, I won't mention. It's not fair. Within the, in fact, it was Felix, without any shred of evidence. Felix is a very good friend of mine. He never engaged in that. You have the power to prosecute. You haven't done that because you knew that you were just maligning him. But is it not a fact that millions of dollars were found in the bedroom of a Bola minister? Isn't that a fact? Isn't it a fact that a sitting member of parliament accused people working within the presidency that for you to see the president, you have to pay $20,000? Isn't it a fact that recently another individual who came to do business and help grow this country was told to pay $20,000, and he alleged and mentioned the name of a deputy chief of staff. So I'm saying that, please.
The Asensu has not even met
I'm not
the
talking.
person.
Please. You can
That's
sit
the
here.
story you are
please,
referencing.
You can
Asensu
sit here.
has not even met the person.
You can sit here and
the man
tell
is
us.
lying.
Of course. Asensu has not even met the person.
So please, you can sit here and tell us. You see,
don't introduce a new
topic. I have told you
because
that yes. Listen, I have told you.
Asensu.
Listen, and I have been consistent. I said, look, we can look at corruption entirely. And I agreed with you when you said that, look, corruption is, we can look at it entirely. But you see,
climate change.
Some politicians are fantastically corrupt. And you find a lot of them at the building just by TV3.
Easy.
The Flagstaff House has become the citadel for corruption. And that is a fact. And I tie it with this climate change, this COP. Is it COP?
This 28.
28. I mean, if you look at the list, what was the second lady doing there? The Samira.
You want me to explain it?
What was she doing there?
You want me to explain
You mean the second lady shouldn't go to a climate change?
To do what? The father was also an ambassador. To do what?
What was Eric
Please.
Their names were there.
I'm saying that Eric Opoku is the ranking member on Committee for Agric. If you do not know that climate change and its effects are something, yes. Honorable Suhini, hold on.
And then
Suhini,
Samira is doing a lot of climate work. Haven't you seen it?
Which climate work?
What's he doing? Is it farming?
Oh, is
she farming?
Is she farming?
I'll cite it for
Let
you.
me finish.
I'll cite several examples of what Samira is doing.
Is the deputy ranking on environment. All the members of parliament from NDC and NPP who attended there, it is enough justification for them to be there. How about ministers are there? Deputy ministers are there. Every single minister was there. And in some ministries, you have the minister and the deputy minister who are all there doing what? I think Ghana is the only country that went there with that huge numbers. At a time when the president himself...
No, that was Nigeria.
...announced, Nigeria is bigger than us, there are about over 250 million. At a time when the president himself announced that he was going to curtail the number of foreign travels. And that foreign travels can only be engaged by appointees of the government on events and activities that are hugely important. This is a mockery of the directive given by the president. Couldn't we have had just directors of the ministries attending? Or Ministry of Environment, you could have that. And in any case, the foreign minister attending with the president. Couldn't the foreign minister even represent the president? In other countries, you didn't have their presidents attending. You had just foreign ministers who attended. And you have another, if you look at the list, they provide the name, the institution, and one they said associate professor. Since when has associate professor become an institution? They want to check the list. They provided the name and said associate professor. How about professor emeritus? How about full professors? I am saying that this government is endemically corrupt. They cannot avoid it. And the amount of money that will be spent, apart from air ticketing alone, accommodation, I think that we need to get the figures. Whether it was necessary for the government to go with those huge numbers, when the government himself is telling us that bondholders, people who have 12 sacrifices, their pension monies, they should make away with some of the monies because the country is struggling. When you are telling all of us, Roland, that we should tighten our belts, one natural fact, you have removed even your belt hooks, let alone having belts. Isn't this a mockery of the fight to reduce the expenditure of government? We are going about begging for money. The IMF arrangement, we are begging for money with all manner of conditionalities. The IMF recommendation is that we must do everything possible to reduce costs. Check the 2023 budget, the 2024 budget statement. Government is projecting to mobilize some revenue. And how are they mobilizing it? Through taxation. They want to burden us the more. Yet the monies we pay, the state, the presidency, the government finds it very comfortable to use that money to buy air ticket, pay accommodation, and for people to go there to do.
From Nigeria, population of over 200 million.
50 million.
Okay. 1,411 delegates. Morocco, 823. Kenya, 765. Ghana. So in Africa, Ghana is a country with the fourth largest delegation. It's an increase from the last time we went to COP in Egypt, from 322. So we have 680.
221.
All right.
So I'm saying that it's
condemnable. This is we're not living according to our talk.
First of all, the government didn't sponsor Samira to go to COP.
Who sponsored her?
Or everybody else.
Please let me speak.
Please let him speak.
Samira has been engaged in a lot of climate work activity. You are a journalist. I implore you to take the effort to even just do a cursory look on his social media. You will see. No, please, let me talk. You sat here and spoke. Let me speak. You will see that Samira has been doing climate work for the longest time. Aside from that, she's even engaged in clean cooking.
Wait. If you clean...
Okay.
Clean what?
Please, let me read it to you. Since you don't want to...
And that's a justification to be at the climate change conference.
No. Please.
What's the justification?
Please, let me read it to you.
What I know she does is kumkum bagya. You know, remember she went to India.
She's
a
second lady.
She's
second lady in our constitution. Is there any
see, part of climate change, please let me speak. Part of climate change is ensuring accessible, sustainable, affordable, and clean cooking fuels. Clean cooking fuels for African women and children. Look, Samira has been engaged in this work for the longest time.
Since when?
And even before they went to UAE, they did pre-COP 28, even here in Ghana, which she was part.
Indeed, there were journalists and other media people. I know some journalists who were part of the pre. So the question is, should she?
And I'm saying that of course, she has, because she is involved in clean energy. She is involved in climate change, and she
in clean cooking, not clean energy.
What do you understand? What do you understand by clean cooking? Because when we talk about clean cooking, we are talking about clean fossil fuels. Do you understand the issues? Clean fuels. Do you understand the issues?
Mutala, please let him make his point.
We have ways that we cook now, which the world is trying to transform. Is that not so? She is spearheading it. You want to make it about Samira, but let me put it to you. No, you want to make it about her, but let me put it to you. Samira's visit to the place was not sponsored by the government.
Who sponsored it?
Samira's was sponsored by private non-profit agencies that she's been engaged in clean energy. There's AfriWalk and other agencies.
So you're saying that private agencies sponsored the second lady's delegation?
Of course, and not just Samira.
AfriWalk.
Why don't you let me? I don't think what he's doing is right.
We'll investigate it.
You see, we will talk about, if you want to go there, we'll go there.
Why?
Because we remember President Mohammed's wife.
Did
she took $500,000 in a bag to the USA. What was she doing there? What was she doing there with the money?
Which bag?
It was here in Ghana.
Which bag?
I didn't say bank.
Which bag?
I didn't say bank. I said bag.
Which bag?
Do you want to tell you the name of the bag?
But mention the name. Are you just tell us?
Please.
No, please.
How can you lie? Don't run away.
I'm not going to run. I am saying it here.
Which bag?
So you said that.
The wife.
Which bag?
So as a result of that, government has to increase Ghana's delegation to 680.
Roland, I think you are doing propaganda. If you should allow me to speak, because
let's take it that I'm doing propaganda. Please.
You cannot impugn.
I'm saying that you have made an allegation.
The two of you do the program.
No,
go ahead.
No, please.
Do the program.
Mr. Mutala.
Do the program.
Mr. Mutala. No, you say, and I'm saying that, is that a justification for us?
That is not a justification for anything.
Which bag?
I am not saying because of that something must be done. You concluded that. I have not justified anything.
Is that a question? Is that a justification for the...
No.
Okay,
it was a pathetic justification that you made.
How?
Yes, because I have not justified anything. I am only telling you that. One, she went there because she was sponsored by agents that she's already working with. In Ghana, it is only the blind person who pretends not to have seen it. Any journalist worth his salt in this country knows that she's been engaged.
Which journalist?
I'm saying that any person.
I'm saying you say journalists worth their salt, and we know journalists in Ghana who are worth their salt.
Those
of us who are not worth our salt.
I will not go ahead and even indulge in the tangent you want to take.
No, because some of the things you are saying.
No, but what are the things that people are sitting here and saying? What are the conclusions that you are drawing?
Who is drawing the conclusions?
What are the conclusions that you are drawing? The bottom line is that I have told you that the second lady was not sponsored.
No, let's not make the issue about. There was a mention of the second lady, for example, and I'm saying that. So the question is there any justification that from COP 28 convened in Egypt, we have a good number of representation jumping by 100% to 600 or almost 680? Because I know some private players who are there. I know some private players.
Okay. So you have to look at the official party, and then you have to look at the party overflow. Because the official party is the ones that the host nation has officially invited. And then anybody who registers to attend the event jumps on the Ghana list. So there are even I don't think this is fair.
No. So the Ghana list always will include private participants from the Ghana, because it's a country participation list.
Yes, anybody who is going to the program,
that's true,
will indicate the country they are coming from. So that will generate the list for the country. It doesn't mean they are the host invited participants. Those are called the party. And then the party overflow are other people who attend on their own and sponsor themselves. And the second lady is an example of somebody who was sponsored outside of government.
That justifies the increased country number.
I'm not saying it justifies anything. I'm telling you that she went there separately. Other people went there separately. Rashid Pepo was there. Eric Opoku was there. Yes. Several other people were there. Private people were there. And then even the list. I saw a finance minister on the list. He wasn't there. Because I was with the finance minister, Atosu, yesterday.
I didn't mention it.
No, I'm saying that there are several people whose names are here that they weren't even there.
All right.
So when
for example, the finance minister.
The finance minister. He wasn't there. I was with him yesterday.
The president to list name is
So
there. So
please, we are not talking about somebody who takes $500,000 outside of the country.
Roland, you see, you allowed him.
Allowed what? What haven't you said? What haven't you said? What haven't you said? I haven't talked about bank. I said bag.
I said which bag?
Okay, do you want to come and describe your bag?
How can you sit here
all right,
and just lie?
Imani, no,
talk it. We have to wrap up. Kofi Tonto, and then also Murtala Mohammed. Imani,
which bag?
500,000.
So Imani says the bag mom dear Roland for make he mentioned the name. All right. So one person says, Mahami Adams said Roland is not correct. Hey, why all these heckling? And then Emmanuel Badu says because he's not allowing politics to be undertaken. And then so please, we also have
you need to apologize.
No, Kofi Tonto, thank you very much. And then also Murtala Mohammed, thank you very much for your comments as well, passing through the studio this morning. So we have Julius Agaowa and Tahiru from Aswansi. Honestly speaking, the NPP has no sympathy for the innocent Ghanaian. And then also we do have some great people. John Terry, good morning to you. And you say it's quite interesting what's going on many of these interactive morning shows. And Son of Accountability says we are bringing the subject of taxation where ordinary Ghanaians are taxed for everything. Piers Morgan, Edward Autry says, so now all you need to do is to ensure that you bloat up expenditure by increasing numbers that go to the various conferences that Ghana is spearheading, like COP28 taking place in the UAE. Well, for many of you who also are sending a comment that I can read, well, we'll see how that goes. Well, so Maha Beach Resort has a lot for you, and it's the Joy Promotion 2023. And all you need to do is to make sure you book now till the 15th of December 2023. Stay for one night and get the second night for free in a standard room with free airport pickups on weekends. And we're talking about $295 for two persons, $195 for a person, and the package will include meals, start with dinner on arrival, breakfast, lunch, and dinner on the second day, and breakfast on the last day before departure. Also included in the package, we have free dispenser water with meals, free airport pickup service from Friday to Sunday, and make sure that you have in mind that terms and conditions are applying. 10% discount on spa services, that will be spa services, aqua aerobics in the morning, and then beach. Charlie, I'm reading ILPM. Can you guys keep quiet? In the morning, and then beach walks as well. Free upgrade from standard room to standard sea view room from Monday to Thursday, and all subject to availability. Catch a movie also on this package at the cinema room with popcorn. Enjoy the swimming pool. We have the gym, the snooker, as well as the volleyball games all available. And variety of indoor games, including Ludo, draft, cards, or Wari, chess, etc. Complimentary early check-ins are taken cognizance of, and late checkout till 1 p.m. subject to availability. And you have the opportunity to upgrade your room on availability based on requests at charges below what the official rates are. And you also get to enjoy boat ride to Maha Village, water sport available on request at a cost, as well as spa services and party bus rides. Well, they have the contact available for you just in case you want to do the early bookings for this Christmas package. And the number is 030-3977-773 or 050-157-0684. Now, for more details and reservation, make sure that you do the email. And you can email them on sm@maharesort.com/reservations. Well, Kofi Tonto, thank you very much for passing through with the bag of accusation of dollars that has come in.
I'm giving the opportunity to apologize.